And welcome back to So This is Thailand, and coming up now, expert advice in a subject that I know a lot of moms and dads or moms and dads to be out there will want to talk about today. We have a very special guest, Miss Eleni Petraki, who is the chairwoman of BAMBI. BAMBI stands for, let me check this, Bangkok Mothers and Babies International. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, I know that, as a expectant father or mother, we always want the best out there, and especially the birthing process. And those, especially the foreigners who come to Thailand, are wondering about the services and the types of procedures which are done here. Mm-hmm. I know that a lot of Thai women opt for a cesarean, mm-hmm. but you advocate the natural birth.
Yes, we do. We do support the natural birth and the breastfeeding. We always welcome any kind of birth plan and any feeding plan, of course, but at the same time we are promoting the natural birth.
What are the advantages of natural birth versus the cesarean, which more people seem to opt for nowadays?
With a natural birth, you're choosing to trust your body, that you can give birth to your own baby.
Mm-hmm. In looking for a good hospital, looking for a good doctor, you really need to be prepared to know what you need to ask to get the good answers. What are some of the advice or recommendations you give for those expectant parents? I can't have a really problem with that word. Expectant parents should be thinking about when they go to see the gynecologist or the prenatal physician.
We usually have a talk with the mom and the dad about creating a birth plan, and we're giving them a few rules about how to create that birth plan, and that will be to be informed so they know what's their options. So they can choose if they know what's their options, to make a list before the appointment about anything that it comes to their head that they wanted to ask the doctor. Do not be shy with their doctor, because it's their body, it's their baby, it's their birth, it's their choice. To be fair with the doctor and tell to the doctor what do they want, so then the doctor knows what the mother and the father wants what's the expectation from the birth.
So now, as also, so you had be informed, make a list, don't be shy, know what you want.
Yeah, also don't expect the doctor to know everything, because it's a human being, and ask open-ended questions the doctor, instead of saying, do you do a C-section, do you do episiotomy? It's better to ask, when do you do that, and when do you do this? Ask them when they wanted to perform something.
Because you'll get a more complete answer, and you'll get a greater understanding of it?
They will reflect in their question, and they will answer according to what's the statistics about when they do something and why they will choose to do that instead of that. So then you can have a conversation with your doctor.
Okay. Well, not knowing anything at all about being pregnant or childbirth, are there a lot of differences from that you might expect as a foreigner coming to live here, and what kind of different cultures and traditions or it is cultural, the birth, and different cultures, they have different expectations, or they're thinking a different way. So you need to make sure that you communicate what's your culture, where you're coming from, so then the doctor be more open and understanding why you're choosing what you're choosing. Such as what differences, maybe from your own personal experience? Like, what are some of the differences you see?
Some people, they wanted to have the dad with them, or they might wanted to have their mother or a friend to help them. They might wanted to be having their own, wearing their own clothes and not the clothes from the hospital. They might wanted to have a very specific things in the room with them.
Might want to have some keepsakes or some pictures from back home to make them feel more comfortable.
Yes.
And
Music. They might want a specific music. They might want their room to look in a specific way. They might want the lights to be a little bit lower.
and these things are really the ones that you should be writing on that list. That you're,
Yes.
Yes,
That will be the things that you write. Basically, you wanted to make sure that you feel comfortable in the room with the people that you feel comfortable, because it's a moment of your life that it might be stressful. So you might want it to be with people and things that they will help you cope with a stressful moment.
Well, looking on the other half, I know your organization, you do a lot of the advocating and education about natural birthing. Another part is the breastfeeding. And if anyone has watched any Thai television or any magazine, you know that there's thousands of commercials for baby formula. And it seems as soon as the mom has a chance, the kid is off breastfeeding and onto the formula. But that is also something that I know, especially a lot of doctors say, that's actually not a good thing.
Breastfeeding is good because your baby will take all the
Kind of like all the antibiotics. I know for one
antibiotics that it needs to cover from any germs or any. It will be something that will help your baby to adjust better as they are growing.
And there'd be less chance of, let's say, like allergies, because it's all natural. It's between the mother and the baby as well.
And there's a bonding between the mom and the child, definitely, when you're doing breastfeeding. And it is definitely good to do the first 3 months, but there is moms that they go up to 1 year or even 2 years. It's a very personal choice. Most of the doctors, they will suggest you 6 months to 1 year to breastfeed.
Right. And so we spend a lot of time talking about the moms and the choices for the moms. What about the roles of the dads? What would be your opinion on this whole thing?
The dads, they need to be supportive. Hold the hand. Try to go to the meetings with the doctor before the birth, so they get to know the doctor. It will be good to choose the doctor together, from having a conversation about that. And during the labor, during the birth, it will be great to be like a coach, that it helps you and tells you how great you do, how awesome you are, and keep going.
Well, I know for anyone who's watched any of the Hollywood movies out there, it always seems that the dad's in the room there, the birthing room, and the wife is always screaming at him, "How could you do this to me?" And but in all seriousness, it is, you are there as a couple. You made the baby as a couple, and you do recommend being there for the support as well.
Dad's usually in the corner somewhere.
Yeah, and you might want to ask for your partner to be there. It's not necessarily something that is that the hospitals, they will expect in you that you want that. So you might want to ask that I want my partner to be with me from the beginning until the end. You might want to ask that I want the father hold the baby. or be the one that he will cut the cord,
Right.
or I want this specific photo as soon as the baby comes. You need to give them the scenario. You give them.
So you really have to think.
Wow.
You really need to think
Yeah.
about the whole entire process and kind of think about in your head, what do you want, how do you want it, because you're only really going to get one chance at it.
Exactly.
I
yes.
didn't know you could be so specific.
Yeah. For the hospitals, you know, they have done this over and over and over and over, so they might forget to tell you what you might want.
Sure.
So it's good to come up prepare
Sure.
and prepare them that this is what you want. So if the communication is open, then it's easier for everybody to perform as they
Yeah.
would like to.
Sure.
Well, for any of those of you who are out there and you still have questions, and let's say you're new to parenthood and you'd like to know what questions you actually need to ask, how can they find out more about Bambi?
We have a website that with bambiweb.org. They can find about us. We are having playgroups everywhere in the city, and we're doing events like Christmas events and Halloween events. But our website definitely is the place to go first to find.
So bambiweb.org.
.org. Yes.
Excellent. Well, Eleni, thank you very much for joining us today. I know it's a subject that we wish we knew more about, especially for those first timers, but there is nothing wrong with not knowing as long as you know the questions to ask.
Stay tuned on So This is Thailand. We'll be right back with more right after.
Now we are standing at the oldest spot of Nakhon Si Thammarat, and next to me is Ajan Narit Noi Thaptim from Noi Thaptim Tour and Travel. สวัสดีค่ะ
ครับ สวัสดีครับ
ค่ะ You can see that this is the oldest spot because of we can see the old city moat and we can see the statue here. What is the name of this place?
ศรีธรรมาโศกราช
Si Thamma Sokarat Public Park.
Yeah,
Yeah, because of the statue of King Si Thamma Sokarat. Is he the first king?
yeah, the first king of the kingdom, Sivichai kingdom.
So if we are tracing back this area, so how old is this area actually?
1,800 years ago.
Wow!
Wow.
So
And
before
then
Sukhothai period.
before Sukhothai.
What was the name of the kingdom that time?
Ligor, and then the first name, the Ligor, and then they changed the Sivichai kingdom.
Oh, and
Yeah.
then here come to Sukhothai kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the Malaysian and Indonesian people, they still remember the name or call Nakhon Si Thammarat Ligor.
Yeah,
So today you're going to take me around.
yeah.
Good. So let's
Please.
go. Yes.
Okay.
This road behind us is quite busy because it's the main road of the city. What is the name of this road?
Ratchadamnon Road. Many years ago, this the road, the Sing Road, because we have the five religion: Buddhist, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, and Chinese.
Yes, for example, you can see that behind us, we can see the mosque for the Muslim community. And we have seen the Hindu shrine for the Hindu community, the Chinese Khongzhi shrine for the Chinese community. So we have seen the Christian community, we have seen the church,
Yeah.
and then we're going to the temple. What's the name of the temple for Buddhist community?
พระบรมมหาธาตุ
Oh,
What?
with the huge, great pagoda.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. This is a remarkable temple, not just only the pagoda behind us with 960 kilogram pure gold, but I mean as well the legend of the Lord Buddha's relics. I'm sure that you have that story of the Lord Buddha's relics.
Yeah. Inside the relic of Buddha, the teach of the Buddha, the teach of the Lord Buddha, the three places in the world.
Yeah.
The first Sri Lanka, the second here, and the third China. And then inside the pagoda, relic of the Buddha, to here, they bring the prince and princess from India to Ceylon by boat, and then the boat in the broken.
Oh.
Indian Ocean, prince and princess swimming to Tapola or Tapuapa district in the Phang Nga province
I
now.
see.
Yeah.
So
and then the
they came here.
yeah. And then prince and princess by walk and to here. Many years ago, all the area the seaside. The prince and princess and the old there, they dig underground the relic of the Lord Buddha.
When we look at the pagoda, so what is the style of the pagoda?
Ceylon style.
This is really the heart and soul for the people of Nakhon Si Thammarat and for Thai people, the whole nation as well. Our TV producer chose this spot to give you, the very best view of this great pagoda. Yeah. So what about pagoda? The one who built this pagoda, who was he?
Sri Thammasokara.
Yes.
They built this pagoda. Yeah. About 1,300 years ago. Yeah. And then this pagoda, shadowless. You know notice the top of the pagoda?
Yeah,
the
it's
top
pure
of the
gold.
pagoda made by pure gold, 960 kilograms.
It's the gold plate.
Yeah, the gold plate. And the sunshine, the top of the pagoda
Reflects the sunlight.
Reflects the sunlight.
So what do they call this pagoda?
Shadowless pagoda.
Oh, now I understand. Because when the sunlight comes and reflects from the gold plate on the top, and because this pagoda is round, so that's why it reflects the sunlight that delete all the shadow underneath. So that's why it's called shadowless pagoda.
Yeah.
Oh, the other reason that makes this place so sacred and holy for the people.
Yeah.
So now we are sitting at the basement of the Great Pagoda, and this is a meditation walkway that looks so peaceful with the decoration. This is so original. So what is the name of the meditation walkway?
King Taksin Maharaj.
Oh yes, it was the legend that you told me about this, that the people around here, they believed that King Taksin the Great, that he was the last king before the Ratanakosin dynasty. He spent his peaceful life, the last period of life here, and he used this meditation walkway at the place that he walked every day peacefully.